My name is David Franta. I'm from Winnebago, Minnesota. I went to Blue Earth Area High School and I'm a nursing major here. So being a Johnnie means that you learn when you need to learn and you teach when you need to teach and you follow when you need to follow and you lead when you need to lead. And I think that we all have people that we can remember and might even still be looking up to that we needed leadership from them because they'd done it and we look up to them as a person and somebody who has the experience. And now as we've transitioned to being the upperclassmen, there are certainly probably people looking up at each one of us and saying, we need a good leader. And I think you learn from the leaders that you learn from. And you can teach what they have taught you or modify it if you need to. And I think that that's something that being a Johnnie means because we all look out for one another. I would say that the football team and the nursing department have been huge influences on me. The football team generally, both my teammates, because you can learn a lot from your teammates. I remember when I was a freshman looking up to the seniors, and now when I'm a senior, still looking up to the underclassmen in some ways, and as well as the coaches. If you need help finding a job or you need help with your schoolwork, anything like that, you can go to those coaches and they're there for you on a personal level. The nursing department, I think that the vibe that we get from all of the profs is that they genuinely care for you. And they'll do things for you, and same thing with job recommendations and things like that. You can always go and ask them questions, and they put in a lot of time and they really care about you.
So my name is Mullings. I'm from Nassau, Bahamas, and my major is biochemistry. I think my 30-second commercial to students who are potentially looking at St. John's is that St. John's allows you to be who you want to be. What it takes is for you to have an open mind, to realize that no campus or no school or any country is ever perfect. But I think every experience is what you make it. And I think definitely St. John's provides the infrastructure and the bare bones to at least have a very good and productive college experience. And I know that from experience because I've been able to grow and transform myself while here. I think that I really enjoy that St. John's is constantly transforming itself. From the things like the Mellon Grant or revising the curriculum. A school that is constantly looking for ways that can improve itself is a school that's continuously looking for growth. It's looking for ways to help their students grow as well. And I think that's very important as a school because many schools do not change over the years. But a school that can evolve over the years, that can change, that is listening to its students, is one that will be sustainable throughout the future. And I think that's something that we should continue to do as a school.
My name is George Dornbach. I'm a senior storytelling major at St. John's, and I am originally from Minneapolis, but I grew up in South Korea and Japan. So when I was in South Korea and I was running my last cross-country meet, and I've been looking at coming to St. John's, and Tim Miles, the coach, had contacted a Johnnie who was in Japan, in Korea teaching, and he came and watched my last cross-country meet. He had his blue St. John's shirt on, and that was just so unbelievably cool. And I think that's when I knew too that I wanted to go here, because that network is so far-reaching and so open and approachable and kind. Through my Eichten Fellowship and under the mentorship of Gary Eichten and the whole staff at Minnesota Public Radio, I learned truly what it meant to tell a story. And to dive into stories and to listen with an open heart and to apply what I heard and listened to and learned and put that into a meaningful piece of journalism. And that really stories, that experience was an opportunity to see the power of stories and the important role that they play in our everyday lives, whether it be out in the world or here at St. John's, St. Ben's.
My name is John Oliver. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and I am a communications major here at St. John's University. So my time here at St. John's has transformed my life from just the fact of just maturing me, really. Just every experience I've had so far here has made me a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter, a little bit tougher. And, just taking that and going to the next step of my life, I'm very excited to do. So the St. John's community is infectious, I would say. Just the community being so happy, smiling all the time. I know, like I said, the first time I got up here, I felt so at home, just comfortable in a way where I thought this was a place to be. So being a Johnnie means opportunity, really. When I was first looking at schools and choosing schools in high school to look where I could go, I know when I visited St. John's, a lot of the guys from the basketball team and just people who I would come in contact with on campus would tell me about endeavors they're getting into after college or that they've been approached with, and they're like freshmen, sophomore, juniors, not even seniors yet, where they're getting these amazing opportunities to become better humans, better people, and just better themselves. And I think that I saw that and really, took it back like, hey, Dad, I think I'm gonna make the trip up north and try to, become a better man. And so far, the past 4 years, I think I've done that.
My name is Mathew Burgstahler. I'm from Sandpoint, Idaho, and my major is integrative health science. Being a Johnnie means spreading goodwill. Being a Johnnie means being a friend, being an adventurer, being a good human being to other human beings, I would say. A community-oriented person, an engaged person, a global citizen. I think St. John's teaches you to care about the person next to you and the person across the world. And so I think St. John's does a good job of expanding your horizons while also realizing that your community actually matters. So it's both global and it's very, very close to you too. I was going to interview for the trustees scholarship, and I got locked out of the dorm. I thought I'd go to the Reef early in the morning. It was a Sunday, so I thought, okay, I'm up at 6:45. I went to the Reef. The Reef isn't open at 6:45 in the morning on a Sunday. I didn't know that. The only place that was open, it was the middle of February, was the Abbey Church. And so, I didn't know where I was. I kind of was in that doorway because it was warm. I hadn't brought my jacket, and a couple of nuns invited me into the Abbey Church. And so I prayed with the monks from 7 to 7:30 on a Sunday morning. I didn't really know what was going on, but I was up on the altar, and I actually, scurried back into the Great Hall to go with the admissions department. Oh, we were worried about you. You're late. I'm so sorry. I was praying with the monks. You were praying with the monks? What? And I was like, I don't know. I was. And so, kind of part of those. That's like a defining moment, I would say, just because it was. At St. John's, you have these weird engagements, and you don't know what you'll learn. But that was one of the ones where you learn something you never know. I think men in our society have a hard problem socializing and getting across this idea of hypermasculinity and kind of connecting emotionally with other males. And I think St. John's is this weird, strange, unique place in the middle of nowhere where you can connect emotionally with other males, you can develop emotional maturity, and you can kind of become your best version. And so in the middle of nowhere in the woods, you can kind of form these friendships that last a lifetime, and you can become like your true version. You don't have to put on a face, you can just be friends with people and kind of experience life in a very real way. St. John's has transformed my life in, I think, more ways than I could ever imagine before coming here. Obviously, you never know kind of what you are before and what you are becoming. But St. John's, I think, has given me values in life. So I don't think it's so much, and I'll talk about this maybe in the future, but I don't necessarily have, the next 20 years planned out with an awesome job that I can pursue, but I have a life, I think. St. John's has given me a life, maybe not a job, and I think that's the most important part. So social justice, mindfulness, community engagement, those types of values that I have, simple living.
I am David Franta.
My name is Lincoln Mullings.
My name is Mathew Burgstahler.
My name is John Oliver.
僕は George ですと Johnnie です。My name's George and I'm a Johnnie.
And I'm a Johnnie.
And I am a Johnnie.
And I am a Johnnie.
And I'm a Johnnie.